The third set is Bel'Shir Vestige. Spawning in the bottom right-hand position, the Zerg player from SK Telecom T1. His name is SoO.
His opponent already having 1 kill. Today in Pro League, his name is Steer, playing as Blue Protoss on the left top position of the map. Excuse me, he already has 1 kill against Brown.
That's true. Now, the question, again, before we got popped in the game, of course, we don't entirely know when the games are going to start, so sometimes we do get cut off here, but the question is, what was your opponent on the documentary Boxer's Wings? Do you believe Boxer will make a comeback in StarCraft 2? Now, I haven't personally seen the documentary yet, but on my list of things to do. And as far as the question goes, Boxer, he is currently the head coach for SK Telecom T1, but you know what? Anything can happen, man. It's Boxer.
Actually, there was a recent interview with Boxer that I just read on one of the Korean websites, and it did say that while Boxer, he's a head coach right now, and that's what he is focusing on, he is still playing the game as much as possible when he can, and if he believes that he could actually contribute to the team as a player, he might try to do it again. So that's what he stated in the interview a few days ago.
And you know what? It's possible, man. I definitely think it's possible. Just, you know, I think that the timing has to be right as well. You know, things have to kind of fall in place, so to speak.
Remember, I Love Oof became a playing coach for SK Telecom T1 a long time ago, and a lot of fans were saying, well, playing coach, they just say the word playing in front of it for the fans, and they don't actually get to play. But I Love Oof against Air Force Ace, he went for multiple kills in a single day.
That's true. All right, we got a little bit of annoying probe harassment here from Deer, just trying to prevent SoO from getting this expansion up for as long as possible. Eventually going to have to get that probe out of there, though. It's getting pretty low on health here, and the hatchery will go down. Not able to block that anymore, but still, Deer doing a pretty good job there.
If he really wanted to, he could have built the pylon because he went for the forge first.
Yeah, he did. So, interesting that he didn't, but I guess he's just fine with going ahead. Getting that expansion up a little bit earlier. We do have a pair of Zerglings on the way from SoO here. Doesn't look like he's going to add any more in because he's just getting a queen behind this and just getting more and more drones.
Most people think it's actually a disadvantage if they go for the 4 Zerglings these days, especially in Pro League, because the players are thinking, well, even if I make the 4 Zerglings, my opponent is going to be fantastic at defending against these early link pressure by having a nice wall, so it doesn't matter if I make 4 or 2, it's better for me to only make a pair instead of 4 Zerglings to get 1 more drone out.
It's true. I think that the same thing could be said from the Protoss side. Going for that Nexus over the Forge, a little bit more economic. I would say somewhat of similarity to going for 4 over 2 Zerglings there.
Oh yeah, as long as your opponent does not tempo or 6-pull.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like we have a third hatchery here from SoO, so quickly going ahead and grab that, but pretty standard from the Zerg players nowadays. We will see a core go up as this Gateway Nexus finish here, and actually a pretty interesting wall there. You don't see one like that too often.
Well, there's a 2 type of walls that you can do. One is exactly like this, and it's harder to block against the Zerglings, because now the Hex, if you compare the Hex between the Gateway and the Pylon, it's lined up so that you need a Gateway instead of a Pylon to block that choke if there's too many Zerglings running in. But if you build those core in that location, it's a little bit safer against the Roach and the Hydras earlier on in the game. Other players try to make sure that they could only use 1 pylon to block that choke, so that's the reason why they build the side. The next core on the right side of the wall, but that also allows the Zerg player to snipe it off easily. So there's a little ups and downs with this wall and the other wall.
Gotcha. So, walling 101 with Supernova Maniac.
I've tried both of them, and, you know,
it's a 3 p.m. Korean Central Time on SPL TV. Anyway,
3:37.
3:37.
Let's be exact.
Anyway, we have a Stargate coming up here from the Deer. Looks like he's also made a Stalker. Going to maybe do a little bit of pressuring with that. 10 Zerglings on the way here, though, from SoO. Looks like he may try to put on some early aggression here to kind of prevent his opponent from doing anything too fishy here. Maybe that Zealot and Stalker harassment. SoO just wants to completely shut that down here. That's possible.
It's going to completely shut it down at this point.
So, getting a Phoenix behind this as well. The Zealot, it will spot the link count here, and that's going to probably make Deer move back here. I think he probably can realize at this point that, yeah, he won't be able to do anything.
7 more drones coming out. Speed started, and the Roach Warren started for SoO.
Indeed, also getting that +1 attack for Deer. Behind this, everything looking pretty standard from Deer right now. And SoO beyond a few Zerglings here. Actually, these Zerglings here are going to get a nice round here. Doesn't lose a single one, and Deer down 1 Zealot here.
Well, it was inevitable with the 10 Zerglings that were out on the map. They are starting off for SoO, but I have to say the Roach Warren is slightly earlier than all of these Zerg players who usually plays a regular 3-base play against Protoss players.
I think maybe it's possible that SoO thought that he would be seeing more aggression from Deer here.
Either that, or he wants to apply some pressure of his own.
Yeah, that's true. Not going to be able to apply any, of course, due to that walling position. And the Zerglings are all over the place right now, just scouting out everything. We have 3 more gateways and a robo on the way. Now also finding the Mothership Core from Deer as well here. Kind of delaying it a little bit. Phoenix is moving in. They will be able to snipe off a few drones here. A little bit annoying. And that third one also gonna be very lucky.
I guess he didn't see it.
No. He was almost lucky.
Almost lucky, and the extra drone getting picked off also.
Yeah, so Deer actually doing a pretty good job here. He's already been able to snipe off about 5 workers there. Exactly 5, actually. And that +1 attack just about to finish for Deer as well. He's grabbing an observer behind this, and his 3 additional gateways going to finish here pretty soon. I imagine that we will be seeing a 3rd base from Deer at any moment now.
Pretty soon it has to be, because if you delay it a little bit more, then it gets risky. Yes, you are going to have the 3rd base up, but you are not going to have the 3-base economy.
Well, hold on a second. We do have a robotics going down here, and we see an Immortal +1 armor on the way as well. I think that there's a chance this is a 2-base all-in.
This might be. I mean, well, he's most likely going to get a Nexus at this point. My take at it is like he wants to make sure he gets a Colossus out just in time against the Hydras. That was really close, by the way.
Yeah, that was very close. Also, these units over here could have been sniped off as well. Phoenix is doing their job over here, just sniping off a few workers here and there. 9 already killed. Deer doing a great job with the Phoenix harassment, actually. And this Overseer is going to move into the main base. He will see everything here. We do have that 3rd Nexus going down, so not going to be an all-in. And the Zerglings moving in here, actually, losing a few for free there, essentially. Not even bothering to snipe off that probe there.
He thought that he could have actually got a nicer round on those, but look at this. Overseer does scout the gateways, and the 3rd Nexus already on the way. Well,
hold on a second.
He could go for an attack, but
I still think that we're going to be seeing a timing from Deer here, because
yeah, this
I think that's going to get canceled there at the observer speed. I am not 100% sure, but it should definitely be canceled. I think that's what the Korean commentators are waiting on as well here.
There we go. It's canceled at the last second.
So I think this 3rd base is going to be a dud, essentially, from Deer. He's going to either let it finish or cancel at the last second, but he may not necessarily mine from it or build any more probes, because his probe production completely halted at this point.
This is really smart. It also forces his opponent to make a lot more roaches, because he saw the Colossus production. Also forces the Corruptors out. But the problem is SoO, he's staying aggressive right now. He's going to go for the attack.
All right, SoO moving in here. Decent force fields, but the units are still getting through here. And Deer is in a lot of trouble potentially here. There's a nice surround there with the roaches on both sides, and that Colossus there is getting pretty low on health. Looks like it will end up going down here. I think, though, that Deer, he is going to be able to clean this up and force the Zerg player back, but losing that Colossus is not something he wanted.
Yeah, but like we said, he doesn't need Colossus anymore at this point, because this is not some... He didn't want to go into Colossus, first of all. Just showing that it wasn't a hallucination and showing a fake range thing. I'm going to go for a complete Colossus from this point, so you better make a lot of roaches. And behind it, he's making constant Immortals.
It's true. So we haven't seen any probes in production for quite some time here from our Protoss player. He's up to 54 right now. SoO in a great position as far as drones go, but the stalker count getting pretty dangerous right now. Roaches moving into that 3rd base there, and they're going to be able to snipe down a few units here potentially. Roaches trying to move into the main as well. Time warp going down, but the Roaches just barely escape from there at the last second. And you know, I really like the constant harassment here from SoO, but he's starting to really pack up a lot of minerals here.
And Deer is doing a really nice job splitting up his army left and right. Most players, they try to panic. They actually panic by sending all of the units at the 3rd base, and the Roaches get inside the main base during that time. But SoO, he's not giving Deer any slack today. All
right, well, it looks like Deer, he did decide to make more workers here, and now he's in a pretty solid position, but It's just very kind of weird from them, I want to say here. And actually, nice job by these Phoenixes. They're stepping off more of these workers, killing off an Overlord as well.
Alright, so we do have the Spire finishing up pretty soon. Let's see what SoO is going to make. If SoO makes Corruptors, then
they're going to be useless, man.
Yeah, he might outright die if he does it. Instead, 24 Hydras on the way for SoO.
There we go. SoO deciding to use that mineral bank that he's had here. Also going for the Hydra range, and this Hydra composition is going to be fantastic against what Deer has right now, because he doesn't really have any Colossus in his army here.
No Colossus, no Storm.
And this attack moving across the map here from Deer. Is he going to commit for something? We see a Roach run by on two separate positions here. Uh-oh, those Roaches, though, they may get just completely taken out, and the Roaches moving into the main base here. It looks like they're going to be able to snipe that +2 attack. Moving in here, they may be able to get a nice snipe on this Immortal as well, so that's going to be a nice little mini victory here for SoO, getting that Immortal and now moving up into the main base, seeing maybe if he can kill off a few workers.
The biggest problem with this Roach run by is that the Forge was taken down, which means now Deer cannot go for the +2 timing attack that he was looking for all this time, and he's forced back into his main base. His opponent bought enough time to get the 24 Hydras out and in a position where he wants them to be, except for these couple of Hydras in the front.
So this Hydra's a little bit out of position here, and they're moving pretty slow here. I'm not sure if they got that speed upgrade or not. Look at that. SoO finally realizes what's going on here. He's like, wait, my Hydras,
they're too slow.
They're Wings of Liberty Hydras. I need to give them some speed here. So researching that upgrade right now. Also going for the +2 attack. Looks like he has just the +1 attack.
That's
no carapace.
I mean, this doesn't have +2, but it's still a scary looking army from Deer. Remember that those are Blink Stalkers, 3 Immortals supporting this, and nice positioning by Deer.
Actually, extremely good positioning here. Using that choke point to his fullest here, going to force SoO back. And, you know, it's going to be very tough for him to kind of defend at this point here. He is actually even in supply with Deer right now. Deer is maxed out.
Yeah, Deer does, SoO does have a little better DPS because of the Hydras, but all Deer needs to do is put down the perfect force fields with a Blink Micro, and he can still win this engagement. Look at the force fields.
Good force fields there. Some of these Zerg units are going to get in, but the surface area is simply not there. The Hydra range doing a decent job in this position, but I feel like these force fields are just going to permanently prevent SoO from moving out here. Drones coming off the mineral line now, and things are looking worse and worse for our Zerg player. Deer moving into the main base. It looks like he's going to be able to snipe off that hatchery, and he may be able to get the Roach Warren afterwards as well. Now the Hydras and Roaches are moving through, but we're seeing our Protoss player getting ready to move into the main base.
And the force field's cutting off the army once again. He's in a perfect position to blink in, force field a ramp, and win the game.
So even if this attack is eventually held off here, I mean, the damage has certainly been done. The economic damage is going to be almost impossible for our Protoss or Zerg player to come back from, and then with that Colossus and Stalker reinforcements, they're going to go to that 4th base and be able to take that out as well. SoO, on the other hand, though, it looks like he is going to be able to finish off most of these units here, and actually is still, strangely enough, ahead in supply.
Yeah, now it's not that SoO actually ended is lost in the game. There's more reinforcements coming out, and if SoO just defends the sport base, he can still come back into the game. But that's too many Stalkers. Second Colossus being added in, and with the Hatcher going down, now it's looking grim for SoO.
Indeed it is, and the +2 just about to finish for our Protoss player here. He's getting another Colossus in his army, adding a few more sentries as well. And Deer now very close in supply to his opponent here, and he is on a superior economic footing as well.
The biggest problem for SoO is he wants to go for the timing attack, but he doesn't have enough economy to get the Corruptors out to efficiently take down those Colossus that Deer has. And SoO, he wants to go for it, but he can't. And he knows that the only answer is engaging into this army.
He's moving in for the engagement. The spread is okay for SoO, but the arc is just so much better for a Protoss player. GG is called. Deer taking game number 3 in pretty convincing fashion there.
Yeah, I said the only answer was attacking into him because he couldn't do anything else in that point. Deer taking a solid game against SoO with a nice Colossus fake and earlier in the game, and with a really nice blink timing push.
Yeah, his build was looking quite weird for a while there. I was really not sure if he was going to go for a timing push or not, but you know, I think in the end he decided it'd be better to take that extra base. So currently, guys, the score 1-2.